All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. We are finally on a consecutive week-to-week basis.
That's if I don't screw it up. No problem.
Yeah, or if I don't screw it up.
No promises.
So let's go ahead and let's cross our fingers that we don't screw it up.
Yeah. Actually, for the first time since the Rona, we actually have a lot to talk about. Like this.
I know there's plenty of stuff to happen.
The second part, I will like to say, it actually came upon me I was drunk.
No, that never happens.
Right. I was drunk and I was playing MLB The Show.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot I bought that. I haven't played it yet.
At like 2 a.m. and something happened in the game and I was like, man, this is stupid. That shouldn't be like that. And then it just dawned on me. I was like, that is a podcast. I was like, Jimmy, 3 rules if you're a commissioner of baseball. What would you change? So we're going to get into that, and it's going to be kind of fun of what we're going to change. And we're going to actually kind of probably do about a 3-4 part series. We're going to kind of do baseball today. We'll do college sports in general.
Are we baseball today? I thought we were college football.
No, today's baseball.
I don't have anything for baseball.
Oh my God, Jim! Come on, today's baseball, you idiot. I even said it, baseball. So then next week's college football, and then we'll do basketball, and then NFL. 4 base. You could spitball baseball. You know baseball good enough.
I'll see. Yeah, I'll try and spitball. I'm not going to be able to organize them in any order.
You can spitball. I can say mine, and then you can kind of go off what I say. But we're going to do a 4-part series. But first thing we want to get into, because one of my favorite moments of all of sports is happening Thursday. The draft.
And it's going to be not as fun. But it's still going to be pretty fun.
I mean, let's get real for a second. Like, it is fun watching, was it last year when they had it, was it Nashville?
And it was in Nashville last year.
And it was out in the stands, or out in the streets, and it was kind of fun to watch everybody. And it's always fun to watch the fan reaction and whatnot. But, like, I watch, like, the first 5 picks, and then I just have it down in the background, and then when I hear that little bum 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 bum,
then
that's
a big one.
Yeah, like the pick is in. I'm like, okay, well, who got picked? And then I look, and then I go on to do my own thing. I don't really watch it minus to who's being picked.
We're not sitting down and watching every single pick.
Right.
Not even of the first round. And the first round is the biggest names who are getting picked.
Right. I watched probably like the first 5-10 rounds of like, just to see. And then after that, I'm like, okay, like I'll let this play in the background and I'll just kind of keep up. Like then after that, I kind of keep up with it on ESPN. I kind of have the thing. So the fact that people aren't there, I don't really care.
No, me neither.
I mean, it's I say that. Don't get me wrong. It does suck for the players that don't get to walk on stage, shake the commissioner's hand, hold up the jersey, put on the hat. That is a moment that they will never get, and that does suck for them. Yeah, that does suck.
It's a dream fulfilled for a lot of players.
Right. And I do feel sorry for those guys. But as for me, I mean, it doesn't bother me that they're not going to have it like the big crowds. That doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me that the tradition is necessarily being skipped.
Right. I feel bad for the players, but as for the actual me watching it, I'm like, yeah, they could do it like this every year and I wouldn't care.
Yeah, it doesn't affect us at all.
Right. So, but a lot of things going on right now, like especially like this week. I've seen a lot of people had Justin Herbert jumping Tua as the number 2 quarterback taken, and Tua going 3rd quarterback taken.
I don't know about that one. Listen, I was very impressed by Herbert. Don't get me wrong. I think he's got a good shot at being a very good quarterback at the next level.
Right. I mean,
but man, Tua is like people It's very much I think, a very much a what have they done lately? And Tua was out for the second half of the season last year.
Well, but I think it's kind of a multitude of. Granted, Oregon doesn't have the best either, but with Alabama, name an Alabama quarterback has made it. Recently,
Joe
recently.
You knew I was gonna go there too.
Well, and by the way, if you look at Joe
None
Namath's, if you look at Joe Namath's stats, they were shit.
Oh yeah. But that was old school NFL.
It was, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like look at Alabama. They produce running backs. Like they would produce everything but quarterbacks.
Right, but the other argument is that their style of traditionally their style of offense, and even since Saban's been there, has been very vanilla. It's been very, they do the right things right all the time. That's what makes them so good, right? That was what has made them so good. The difference was when Lane Kiffin came in and that offense opened up. Jalen Hurts was, and you know this because you watched him play at OU. The kid he's electric. He's not as electric as Kyler, but he's still very good, right? And can't throw as well, but
yeah, he's good. Don't get me wrong.
Right, but I'm sorry, but even when Jalen was there, the focus of the offense was the running back, Derrick Henry. It was even when Mark Ingram, after he won the Heisman, Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, right, and but when Lane came in, they started throwing the ball more, and you know who's very good at throwing the ball? Tua Tagovailoa is very good at throwing the ball.
But that's like so. The thing that, and don't get me wrong, I think Tua's gonna be a very good quarterback. I'm not knocking his ability as a thrower or anything, but just looking at him, right?
Yeah,
he's 6'1", 215, not overly big.
No.
The last
not small either.
No, not small.
But I get you.
But the last two quarterbacks, taking number one from OU, were about the same size ish, maybe a little lighter weight wise. But I mean, Baker had this, and you and me talked about it. I called it Houdini, like just
his ability to escape danger
was uncanny.
Yeah.
Like I called him Houdini. It was amazing. Kyler was just lightning in a bottle. I mean,
oh my God,
that kid.
His ability to get up to speed is insane. It is insane how quick that kid, and then top end fast he is.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of now, and granted he's OU, and I am biased obviously because of the Sooners. But even just looking back at it now, and watching highlights from Kyler, remembering last season. This is a squirrel, by the way. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody so electric. Reggie Bush was up there. Like, anytime Reggie Bush touched the ball, you were like, holy shit, here we go.
Yeah.
Michael Vick was, but not to that ability. Kyler, I mean, remember that Texas game? Like when Kyler busted the 60-yard touchdown run, you're like, holy shit, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just electric. Like we said, it was lightning in a bottle. I think that, and when we were talking about, like, especially last year, him versus Dwayne Haskins, we were kind of talking back and forth, and it was nothing against Dwayne. I was like, dude, just Kyler's that X factor. Like, he's got that thing that nobody else has, which is 4.2 speed.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily disagree with you, but there is a difference between a very good, and you would agree with me with this, a very good college quarterback and a very good NFL quarterback, and that difference
is shrinking.
Is kind of hard. It's hard. Well, it is shrinking, but it's kind of hard to gauge.
It is
whether somebody has it or not.
It is. It's to me. I think it is hard to gauge, but I think that is shrinking a lot because we are no longer in the have to have a 6'6" quarterback. 3-step drop, 5-step drop, sitting like a Troy Aikman, Damner, those guys.
Yeah.
We don't have that anymore. We have freaking Lamar Jackson who moves. Patrick Mahomes can move. Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott can move very well.
Yeah.
Drew Brees, for his age, can move fantastically well. And when he was
Yeah.
younger, he could really, really move.
Yeah. He wasn't necessarily fast, but his was. Yeah.
He couldn't, like, if he got rushed, he could escape and avoid, gain 1 or 2 yards and slide.
Yeah, his QB awareness in the pocket is phenomenal. It's very good.
Right. So the one thing about Tua, looking at it, I mean, Joe Burrow, he's 6'4", 220, fantastic arm. He can move very well.
Can move very well as well.
Yeah. Justin Herbert, I mean, the prototype. He's 6'6", 240. And nothing against Herbert or Tua or Love, but Herbert's got a freaking howitzer.
He's got a howitzer, and he's pretty fast as well.
Right. And like this kid he's got if you guys haven't watched Justin Herbert throw the football, this kid's got a cannon. I'll
tell you who the comparison is. He's Daniel Jones.
Yeah, well, and surprisingly, and that's the thing. Yeah, well, and that's a good comparison. Except Herbert does have a little bit more hype coming in. Justin Herbert did play at Oregon compared to Duke, but he had a great rookie year.
He had a very good rookie year.
I think he's gonna be very good for the Giants.
I think they have a couple of things that they need to fix. Obviously, mostly it's that offensive line, which is atrocious.
Right.
He's got a great running back behind him.
So, kind of my point is, we've got these quarterbacks from the last couple of years, and you got Kyler and Lamar that are just lightning with the ball. You've got the 6'6" prototype quarterbacks that just got freaking rocket arms. Or you got Houdinis in the pocket. Joe Burrow, who's just, he's got a little bit of everything. He doesn't do, his accuracy is great and his IQ is great, but he's not a fantastic runner, but he's a good runner. He doesn't have fantastic size, but he's got a good size. He's got a little bit of everything, except for the accuracy and the IQ, which is above average, obviously. And Tua, he has small size.
Smaller size. Yeah, well, if we're going to actually let's say medium.
Yeah.
He's not small, but he's not big.
Right. Can't move fantastic. He can move, but not... He can't...
No, he's not your lightning type guy. He's more of a Brett Favre style runner.
Right.
You're not drawing up plays for him to run the ball on purpose. He's not Lamar Jackson.
Right. So, moving to the NFL, if you look at every quarterback that's 6'1", they're comparing obviously Kyler and Baker to these smaller quarterbacks, which Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, guys.
Yeah.
Well, both those guys can move great.
Yeah.
Kyler can move great. Baker can move great. Tua can't move great. I mean, he can move.
I think you might be a little misremembering because kid can move.
Well,
the difference was he can't move as good as Kyler, can't move as good as Jalen, and I'll give you that. I would put him comparable to Baker.
I think Baker can move better.
But here's something that you're not taking into account. Nick Saban is not running the quarterback if he can throw like Tua.
True, but if you're 6'1" in the NFL, you're going to have to be able to move the pocket.
You're going to have to be able to, yeah, I get it.
You're going to have to move the pocket. And I don't think he can move as well as Baker. Top end, maybe about the same. I think Baker's kind of quick foot, make a decision on his feet.
His ability to make the most his improvisational skills are quite good.
Yes.
Yeah, and I actually think that hurt him this last season.
Well, yeah.
Little squirrel there. I think his improvisation. He held onto the ball way too long.
Yeah,
instead of taking what he could get.
Yeah, instead of that, I agree with that. Instead of taking like the 5-yard out or the little dump it off, he tried to
He's trying to
improv and
hit a home run.
get the home run, which is like, dude, get rid of the fucking football. Live to fight
Yeah,
another
you're in
day.
the
Let's go.
yeah, you're in the NFL, man. Like
Right.
the amount of ability for defenses to learn what you're doing on offense is it's very good.
Especially now that you have guys.
That's an understatement.
You now have guys that are getting paid millions of dollars to watch film on you. They're going to get
Correct.
it. But like talking about Tua's ability to be 6'1", 220, you're going to have to move the pocket. So now you're getting out of the pocket, which means you're going to talk about him against speed, against D ends and outside linebackers.
Yeah.
In the NFL, D ends and outside linebackers will outrun Tua 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe 10 times out of 10. No, and that's not a knock really on Tua. That's just they're freaks. They're absolutely fucking freaks.
Yeah.
So depending on like they're talking about him taking like now getting drafted. Getting drafted by Miami, he'd be the man, which would be bad in Miami if he goes above Herbert. If he doesn't, he's going to go to the Chargers. They do have Tyrod Taylor.
I would expect he'd beat out Tyrod Taylor.
Well,
I like Taylor, but
I think they'd probably start Tyrod for the first 6-8 weeks. Give Jim.
Well, it depends on how well he does.
Right. So
Yeah.
I think Tua's got the brain, but the rest of it at the next level. I'll put it this way: I don't see Tua being an All-Pro quarterback.
I don't know if I don't agree with you on that one. I think he could at a certain point.
Okay, so all right on that. I'm going to say why, and then I'm going to give you the options. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, why do you think that? Because if you're going to be
Wait,
All-Pro,
are we talking about in his first year?
No,
or just not at all?
In his career.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going to say why, because if you go against his peers, that means he's going to be going against Kyler, Baker, Lamar, Joe Burrow, freaking Dwayne Haskins, freaking
I get it.
Trevor Lawrence, Patrick Mahomes. Who else is up?
Well,
Dak.
it's all pro. All pro is both conferences, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like it's like two.
And they choose
it's two
two?
per. Yeah. So, but I mean, if you just look at the young quarterbacks in this league right now, and the ones that are going to be coming out, because Trevor Lawrence is coming out next year, and Jesus Christ, look out, people! I mean, freaking Justin Fields is coming out. Good luck.
Like I'm not gonna lie. I have had such, like when it started with the Kyler, Dwayne Haskins, Daniel Jones year.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Daniel Jones.
Was taken,
I forgot about
yeah,
him.
when
He's doing
Daniel Jones was taken ahead of Dwayne Haskins, I was like, well, that's the dumbest thing ever.
I said the same thing.
You
I
saw
did say
him
the
play.
same. Yeah, I did say the same thing.
And then you saw him play, and it's like, dude was really good. It's like, well, maybe that wasn't the dumbest thing ever, because Dwayne Haskins did not have a great year. He didn't have a bust year, but he didn't have a good year, that's for sure.
No, he had some rough patches.
He had some very rough patches, that's for sure.
Yeah, he had some.
Right, and so did Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones had more highs than lows.
Yeah, I mean,
so
Daniel Jones threw for 3,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. That's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for sure, hindsight's 20/20. It's like, all right, well, maybe New York made the better decision, but we'll see. The idea that somebody can come into a situation, join the NFL, and be like, oh yeah, that guy's a 100%er. It's like, well, I don't know, because there have been guys who have come out and there have been considered to be 100%ers and like fizzled hard.
By the way, I forgot one. Gardner Minshew. Don't forget Gardner.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just saying.
I don't know. We'll see how. Well, but I like to give it some time based off of, what we see over a couple years of experience, because you got guys who come in who are freshmen are just outstanding. Their first year, I say freshmen, their first year as a rookie, they come in and they, like Baker. Baker came in and did a very good job and was considered to be like the future in Cleveland. And then this year happened. Everybody's like, oh, well, obviously he's a bust. It's like, listen, you got to have a back and forth here. They got to have a middle ground, right?
Well,
So
yeah.
you got to also figure out how he's going to respond to a down year. I want to see what he does. Everybody talks about it, sophomore slump. It happens, and it's true, and it's real. So, like, the greats don't have it. Like, Patrick Mahomes didn't have it.
Right.
Lamar Jackson, who was MVP this year, didn't have it. So there are certain people who are just not going to have it, but you have to see what those people who have that slump can do coming back.
Right, and one thing that I will, obviously I will defend my boy Bake, just because, and don't get me wrong, like we said, he did hold on the ball too long, and I definitely would give him that. And not saying he didn't make any bad decisions. He threw for almost 4,000 yards, 22 interceptions, and 21 interceptions.
Yes.
Of his 21 interceptions, 15 of them hit his wide receiver's hands.
Yeah.
Not saying,
I'm on your side.
No,
here,
no,
man.
I'm saying this to the world,
Yeah.
not just you.
Okay.
Like,
oh, you mean our 5 listeners?
our 5 listeners. Well, I mean, you're from Ohio, so there's some people in Hawaii where Cleveland is. So just FYI, Cleveland.
Who are Cleveland fans?
Yeah, just saying. Like, I'm not saying Baker should be like the second coming of Jesus. I think he's be a pretty dang good quarterback. A bunch of his interceptions did come off tip passes. Granted, some of them just maybe would have tapped their hands, but some of them literally should have been caught.
Yeah.
Or, just overthrown and nothing, but they put their hands on it, batted it up in the air, there's a freaking corner.
Yeah.
That's not Bake's fault. Like,
No.
You can't blame him for that. I mean, and I'm not saying all. So if you take half of those away, just saying, then you're talking about 4,000 yards, 22 interceptions, maybe 14 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. Not great, but that's livable.
Yeah. 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 The idea. It has to. I think all of this has to do is just people just don't like Baker. They don't like him personally. And it's not fair for him because you don't like him to immediately call him a complete bust. Like when he got drafted by Cleveland immediately. Everybody was like, "Oh, Johnny Manziel 2.0." It's like, well, no, not really.
No, and the thing about Baker is, and I felt it a lot at OU. And I think Cleveland fans, I mean, I'm trying to think of who kind of remind. Either, probably like Draymond Green at Golden State. Mm-hmm. If you're a Golden State fan, you freaking love him.
You love him.
If you're not a Golden State fan, you hate his guts.
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield feels the same way. If you're a Browns fan or a Sooners fan, you love him. If not, you don't. I mean... so he did it like it. Granted, in college,
yeah,
the getting arrested thing was stupid.
Yeah, that was bad luck.
Well, it's bad luck, and if you look at it, he was of age and he was drunk. Granted, he was of age though, but
yeah,
he wasn't even the one in question. The cops just took a question about some fight, and Baker got drunk and ran off, and they went after him. Like if he would have just stayed put, nothing would have happened, and we wouldn't have heard anything. That's just being drunk. That's just being drunk and stupid. The grab his crotch thing, not the best move, but if you look at what happened, they didn't shake his hand. One of the other coaches, Baker got tackled on the Kansas sideline, said something about his mother.
Yeah.
Baker scored a touchdown. Pretty much told him to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Not the best move, got caught on camera, but yeah. I mean, I'm a competitor. If somebody talks shit to me when I'm on the court or on the field, if you talk shit to me and I show you up, you best believe I'm firing back.
Right. And that is exactly what I'm saying. I think people just want to crap all over Baker Mayfield just because they don't like him as a person.
Right.
That's it.
And the thing is, if you being Sooner fan, people people harp on those and whatnot, but like if you like try to do some research and figure out what he did for like the community of Norman. He was.
You told me all of this.
Yeah, I told you. Like he was fantastic. Like he goes and signed autograph sessions and literally doesn't leave till everybody gets an autograph. There was literally a kid in a like this is I'm not making this up, people. Like there was a kid in a wheelchair trying to get to Baker Mayfield. He was sitting at a table. Baker was trying to sign autographs. He saw this kid in a wheelchair. Baker literally jumped over the table, moved people away so he could get to this person in a wheelchair, took a selfie with them, signed their football, signed their hat. You know,
Yeah.
like he's a good dude.
Yeah.
He is a good dude.
Yeah. And I would say shades of comparison to like Draymond Green. We don't like Draymond Green, but he's not a bad dude.
No.
He's actually a good guy.
He's a great guy. I'm sure he does fantastic for the community. I'm sure he does a lot. He seems like a great dude. Just he flops and he's a dick, and so he's not on my team.
Yeah.
So like if you got traded to the Thunder, it'd be a huge Draymond Green fan.
Yeah, of
he's
course.
the best player ever. It's just
That's happened so many times. How many people in Tampa Bay hated Tom Brady's guts, but now they think, oh yeah, Tom Brady's the GOAT.
he's
the GOAT.
He's the greatest. Oh, he is the GOAT. Yeah. But anyways, going back to the draft, so we kind of get squirrel. But it's gonna be interesting to see what Tua does. I don't see he's gonna be an all pro. I'm not saying he's not gonna be a good quarterback. Just compared to the peers of the quarterbacks 2 years prior to him and the 2 years coming out after him, I don't see him being in the top 4.
Yeah. Yeah, my argument is in that sense. I shouldn't say he's definitely going to be an all pro, because that's lofty goals, and that's almost like saying, oh yeah, this guy's going to be a Hall of Famer before he's even been drafted. That's just dumb. But I feel, based off of his personality, the type of person he is, with his work ethic, which was when you go to Alabama, you have a work ethic. That's just a fact. But personality-wise, I think that will continue once he's not in that system. He's got a very good arm, and that you can't deny that.
Hey, Jim. Tim Tebow had good work ethic. How'd that work out for him?
Yeah, but he couldn't throw the ball very well. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying on top of that, he's got these other things. I think he can move well. But it's like you said, he has to be able to be good in the pocket, because he had a good offensive line all of his years at Alabama. He might get himself into a situation where he doesn't have a good as offensive line as he had at Alabama. So it all depends. I think based off of what I've seen him do, I think he has the opportunity with a good team around him. Like you said, even Baker had 15 of those 21 interceptions went off of Brown's receivers' hands. If he's got the ability and to have success with a good team, a good offensive line, I think it's possible. But if he goes to Miami or San Diego, I don't know.
Well, so most recent NFL our mock draft I saw has Tua going to the Chargers.
Okay.
As well as the second round, them picking up J.K. Dobbins.
Interesting.
So just kind of a fun fact for you Ohio fans out there.
Real sort of. I have my comparison of who I think J.K. Dobbins reminds me of, just physical play, not necessarily successfully where they're going to be going.
Well, tell me and I'll tell you if you're an idiot.
Okay, Emmitt Smith.
You're an idiot.
Why? Tell me why I'm an idiot.
Why? Okay, well, to compare him to the all-time NFL rushing
No. So I had a preface on this.
It doesn't
I didn't
matter.
say J.K. Dobbins would have Emmitt Smith numbers.
Well,
I just said his physical size and the way he plays reminds me of Emmitt Smith.
Well, if you just went off physical size and the way he plays, there's probably literally 200 running backs you could pick, but you decide to pick the all-time leading rush leader. There's a lot of guys that run that way and are that size, but they don't have Emmitt Smith's it.
I know.
So it's like, you know what? I'm going to tell you.
I'm not the only one.
Well, yeah, what was that, OhioState.com?
No, I believe it was I'd have to find it. I don't remember.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, don't.
I think it was on ESPN or something.
To say you
Or
just
Fox Sports. I don't remember.
you just can't. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not.
Then we can't compare any players to any other successful players then.
not to all-time Hall of Famers. Like, are you kidding me? To say, oh yeah, this guy. Like, if you're like,
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna make a decision. I could find some other guy physically similar in size but didn't have as good a career, and I make that comparison. You'd be like, who? Exactly.
well, but like you sit there and be like, oh, okay, well, Joe Burrow's coming out, and he reminds me of Joe Montana. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. He's not like, you can't compare somebody to Joe Montana because there's a lot more to football than just the way you run and your size. Because
I understand.
Because if that's
I
how
get it.
if that's how it was, then guess what? Trent Richardson would have been a Hall of Famer, but he's not because he couldn't pick a hole to save his goddamn life. There'd be a Mack truck hole
terrible.
on the right, and then a
Right.
group of people on the left, and guess what? He'd go, yeah, I think I'm gonna go
Yeah.
left. Well, because you're an idiot.
Right. But for me to make a comparison based off of a running back who is considered to be top end in maybe the number one, there's arguments as to who should be the number one running back, right? Maybe he's not yours. It doesn't matter. But he's there, right? If I were to choose some other random running back,
First off, I will say,
based off of
everybody I've seen, everything I have seen, J.K. Dobbins is not number one. He's number two.
Mel Kiper is
DeAndre
J.K.
Swift.
Dobbins number one.
DeAndre Swift has gone on every single mock draft I've seen.
Mel Kiper's J.K. Dobbins has him number one. The number one
I'm
running
literally looking at Mel Kiper's draft right now.
back. I literally just saw
I have it up right now. He might have number one, but it's all about what you need. And they have freaking DeAndre Swift going 32 to the Kansas City Chiefs in the first round, and then they have J.K. Dobbins going 37th to the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm looking at it right now.
Who's they? Mel Kiper?
Mel Kiper. Released
just saw
6
it.
days ago, or April 14th. Looking at it right now. His 2-round draft pick. I'll send you the link.
Anyway.
So, but again, he's a good running back. But I mean, it's hard to say who's going to be fantastic, who's not. There's so many people that are like the 6th round, 7th round. Tom Brady is the great, and he was 7th round. So,
Right.
to say who's going to be what is tough. I think I see J.K. Dobbins being a good running back. I think, and back up first. Running back is very much where you get drafted. It is like if you get,
I agree with that.
If you get drafted,
I would agree with that.
If you get drafted with a shit offensive line, like bummer, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Like you could be the next freaking Walter Payton, and if you get drafted behind a shit line, like you're done, son. Like sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be like if J.K. Dobbins goes to the Chargers, okay, I can see that. The Chargers have done well with Eckler, and they've done Melvin Gordon. If he goes to Miami, Miami's got a bad.
They got a million picks.
Yeah, they do. They do have room to build.
So okay, I realized my error in what Mel Kiper said that J.K. Dobbins is his favorite back, but he has DeAndre Swift higher based off of needs.
Yeah, everything I've seen was DeAndre Swift being the number one. And don't get me wrong,
and that's not a bad thing. DeAndre Swift is. I always thought he was kind of small.
I don't.
But then I saw his size. I'm like, dude, he's huge.
No, he's not.
He's what is he? He's 6 foot.
He's 5'9", 210. 5'9", 210.
What the? Hold on.
On ESPN, I'm looking at
What is happening?
He's 5'9", 215. Sorry, 215 on ESPN.
God bless it. Never mind.
He's not. he like I don't see it with Swift. I really don't. I think Dobbins has more of an NFL body. I think Jonathan Taylor has more of an NFL body.
Yeah. Well, Taylor's definitely huge. That we know.
Yeah, Taylor's a bowling ball. That kid is.
No, he's not a bowling ball. He's 6'2".
He's 5'11".
What the fuck? I am all kinds of wrong.
Yeah, you're bad tonight, Jim. Okay, so on a side note, I'm going to stop doing fucking sizes because you fucking suck on this.
I'm terrible at this today. This is what you get. I'm not fucking.
Mel Kiper, second round has Jalen Hurts going to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I did see that. I did. The thought was that to replace Big Ben.
Well, yeah, because Mason Rudolph, Mason Rudolph has your prototype size, but he doesn't have. Yeah. He's got a good arm, not a fantastic, but
he's got a very strong arm.
Yes.
But that doesn't make for a good arm.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's got a strong arm. He's got the size. Just his brain's not fantastic, and
yeah,
not that he's a stupid. He just
right. It's a big, gigantic jump when you go from college to NFL. That's just
right. So I just don't see him being an NFL starter. I think being a good backup. I don't see him being a starter. Devlin Hodges
was undrafted, and he's a fan favorite, but no,
he's not an NFL starter. You guys, no. And how many times have we talked about Big Ben, retiring? I mean, we've talked about it for years.
For about 5 years, though.
And so is he.
He was going to be retiring.
He's talked about it too. So you guys do need to start planning for the future because Rudolph and Hodges are not the answer.
No.
And I have been seeing that Jalen has been flying up the draft boards.
Yeah. I like Jalen.
Which, I mean,
I've always liked Jalen.
Yeah, the thing about Jalen is a lot of people, because he runs so much.
Yeah.
First off, people think he's a small guy.
No. He's 6'2", right?
Yeah, he's 6'2", 220.
That's real. Yeah, he's huge.
Well, yeah, he's 6'2", 220.
Oh,
he's
built.
a big guy.
Yeah.
He's a big guy. And so, and he can. I mean, he can run.
For a guy his size, he can move, man.
He can definitely move.
His athleticism is insane.
He can run very well. He can and he can throw the ball. I mean, at OU, his last season, he threw the ball 350 times, and his completion percentage was 70. Granted, that's college compared to NFL.
And in the Big 12.
But that's not a bad thing. Like, okay.
No, yeah.
I mean, and
you have to be good to have a good completion percentage in college football.
Right.
Period.
Well, I mean, and looking like you say in the Big 12, and granted it was higher, but like his last 3 seasons at Alabama, he threw for 63%, 61%, 73% in the SEC.
He's not a bad passer.
Yeah, he can.
He's not a great passer, but he's not bad.
So, obviously being an OU, watched him every game. I will say, 15 yards and in, he is on the freaking money.
It's the deep ones.
Deep balls, not as accurate, not terrible.
Yeah.
He did this year. I mean, he had CeeDee Lamb to bail him out a lot on deep passes. It's kind of like toss it up, and CeeDee's gonna, do what he does.
Yeah.
So there is some he had longs of 74 and whatnot, but it's like, okay, you threw it up to CeeDee Lamb, he caught it, made 7 people miss, and did what he did. But 15 yards and in the short pass, which, I mean, with Pittsburgh, I mean, granted they are changing, obviously, but Pittsburgh is usually defense, pound the fucking rock, quarterback that doesn't make mistakes.
Well, yeah. I mean, that kind of shifted when Antonio Brown came in.
It did, but I mean, and when Ben became more of the central folk, but the first years of Ben, when you guys had the bus.
The bus, yeah. Jerome Bettis.
Yeah, like you guys, you ran the ball.
Yeah, it was slam the ball up the middle.
You slammed the ball up the middle. You didn't, and Big Ben's job was don't make a mistake.
Right.
Jalen Hurts can do that. He can definitely just don't make a mistake.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So, and if Big Ben could tutelage him, because if he goes to Pittsburgh, unless Ben gets hurt, Jalen Hurts is not going to see the field next year at all.
Right.
Ben, like this might be Ben's last season, granted, because he's 38. But
Injuries
right,
all over the place.
right. So him not getting hurt's big, but I mean it's possible that but I mean learn behind Big Ben. I think that'd be great for Jalen Hurts, and I think that would be a very, very, very good pickup for you guys.
I don't disagree. Like I said I like Jalen Hurts. I liked him when he was at OU. I even liked him when he was at Alabama. I thought he was a very interesting quarterback. He was a lot of fun to watch. Considering his size and the way he could move, it was just impressive to see.
Yeah. Come next Sunday, we're gonna have the draft on, so we're gonna have a lot to talk about. We are hitting the 40-minute mark, so let's get on to my fun thing that I'm excited about. So you did college football, I did baseball.
Yeah.
I said we would do baseball. You're an idiot. I'm gonna start.
I'm not disagreeing with you though. So
that's fact.
just kick me when I'm down. Jeez.
God, you've been all over the place. So I'm gonna give you. So kind of guys, like I said, like we kind of thought about. We've talked about it a couple times, and I was drunk and thought about it, but I think it's kind of fun. Just me and Jim, we're gonna go over everything and say, if we were commissioner for the day, we could change one thing about the sport. What we'd change. So on baseball, I'm gonna give you my 3 things, Jim, and we can talk about them each as we go.
Okay.
First thing that I would change at baseball, and by the way, when we say baseball, Major League Baseball, sorry, the MLB, not college baseball. I think we're just talking about MLB. I would do the Justin Turner change that we already talked about on like when we talked on the phone, not on the mic. But so Justin Turner made the proposition that Major League Baseball. You play your 9 innings. If you're still tied, you go to the 10th inning. If it's still tied after that, each team picks their 3 best hitters, 5 outs each. You go to home run derby.
Yep.
I'm all about it.
I really like it.
I love it.
I actually, you know what you could? So it was, what was it? 5 outs? Or 5 pitches.
It's 5 outs per batter.
Okay. Well, if you're going to do the home run derby option, you have to incorporate the new home run derby rules that came in a couple years ago, which are fantastic. Either with what they did, I think it was the first time they went overtime with Alonso and Vlad Jr.
Oh, that was a great one.
And it was
such a good one.
It was as many home runs as you could hit.
Like 2 minutes.
No. I think it was like 10 pitches.
Oh, the overtime stuff.
They went overtime twice.
Yeah.
It was Bellinger, and I think Alonso went overtime, and then Vladdy.
It was Bellinger and Vlad went overtime, then Pete and Vlad went overtime.
Oh my God, that home run derby
was so good.
Amazing.
I remember that. I was actually on travel for business, and I was in St. Louis. I had nothing to do. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings just watching. Like, this is fucking amazing.
That change of going from 10 outs to as many home runs you can hit in a certain amount of time in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a game changer.
It was. But I think just 5 outs each, like just because you can't have it last too long, and you have 6 batters. Because if you have a tie, then you have to go down to like 1-on-1. So it's I think that like we talked about like
team home run derby. I love it.
It'd be so much fun just because like I'm a Yanks fan, obviously, as you guys know. Jim's an Indians fan, but like, and I watch baseball, and obviously playoff baseball I watch religiously, whoever's playing. But like, if I'm sitting there with nothing to do, and Jim texts me, and it's like the Marlins versus the freaking Angels, and he's like, dude, 10th inning about to go to home run derby on ESPN2.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm turning on the TV. Like, hell yeah, we about to go to home run derby. This is fun.
Yeah. Some of the idiots I see comment on things like this when people share posts like this are like, oh, we're going to be soccer and the NHL with the PKs and the
fuck yes.
yeah, that is amazing. It's like that is.
Listen.
Those are the two most exciting things. Well, I mean, I like hockey and I like soccer. I like them both, but when it comes down to it, it's like you heard a game is going into overtime and they're doing PKs and
listen,
and shootouts. It's amazing.
If you want to watch anything in sports that is the most edge of your seat, holy shit moments, if you're in a World Cup elimination game,
oh my god,
and it's PKs.
Remember, it was.
It is the most ultimate, like.
Yeah.
It was. That's crazy.
It was the. Remember when the women went into PKs against Japan?
Yes.
During their World Cup, that was insane.
I'm gonna tell you this.
So nail biting.
Oh I was not only on I wasn't even on my. I was started at the edge of my seat. I ended up off my seat on my knees.
Yeah.
Like in front of the TV, like staring at it, like come on, baby,
Yeah.
come on, baby, like.
Yeah.
And
it's so good, and you add that into baseball. It's like you said, it's the Royals versus the Pirates on a Tuesday afternoon. Guys, they're going into the 10th. But crap, let's turn it on. You know.
The one thing, Jim, how would you feel like? And I love it, but how would you feel about this?
Yeah.
Game 7, World Series.
Stop talking.
Going into a home run derby. But no, that's the question. Would you be okay with the World Series champion being selected by a home run derby?
I want to say yes, just because of how exciting it would be. The traditionalist in me is a twinge of
play it out.
No, but play it out. But a part of me wants to say yes.
Yeah. So during the regular season, I'm all for it. Other rounds of the playoff, I'd be all for it. World Series.
Yeah, you got a point there. That's where my traditionalist. But
I might change the rule just for the World Series. But you got to play it out. You got to play it out in the World Series, man. Like World Series, you play baseball till you decide a champion.
The only reason I have a little bit of apprehension about keeping the home run derby rule going into the World Series is because I think it was the Rays Phillies series in 2008.
Was that the one that was rained out and then they came back?
It was rained out for like a week.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it was so boring. Like, it was such a boring series. And it was because it was stretched out too far.
Right.
You know? So I see the pros, I see the cons. Regular season for sure.
Absolutely.
You know, but the idea of it being in the World Series is a little concerning, but at the same time, it's like you said, Game 7 of the World Series. It's going into the 10th. It's like we're going home run derby. It's like, oh man,
that would be
Oh man,
I mean that'd be fun.
I like that way better than 10th inning having a runner on second base. I don't like that.
I don't like runner on second base. I think either play baseball or go to a home run derby. Don't start playing on second base. I think that's just stupid.
I don't agree. I agree. I don't. Yeah. And it doesn't change. And it doesn't change the game. People are always complaining about how they keep making all these changes to the games with a pitch clock and the batter has to keep their foot in the box and all this other kind of stuff. That's not even a change
never
the game.
changed.
It's like.
That rule's never changed. You're supposed to stay in the damn box.
You're supposed to stay in the box. Yeah, we've talked about that offline.
That is like people that don't know the game. This whole thing about you're gonna stay in the batter's box. That's stupid. No, that's always been a rule. That's always been a rule.
They just don't enforce it because there are big gigantic names who step outside of the box.
Yeah, and they do their own little thing.
Yeah, I talked about Big Papi. You love Big Papi, even though he's a Red Sox.
He is a Red Sox.
He did the exact same thing between every single pitch. Well, like, dude, I get it. Stay in the box.
The worst was freaking Nomar.
Yeah, Nomar.
With his fucking straps.
I could do it right now. I could do that routine right now.
But that's great. But after like the fifth pitch of the at bat, I was like, okay, come on, like get in the goddamn box and let's go.
Go back. Got to fix your gloves for some reason. Got to spit on each palm. Yeah. Got to take a couple practice swings between every single pitch. Like, dude, let's go.
Like that stuff. Like I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a softball player, not a Major League Baseball player.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had my routine, like before, after each pitch, kind of step back, gather myself. I take the bat in my left hand, kind of swing it in the circle twice, and bring it up, and like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my routine, but it's not this whole freaking 3 hour like, all right, here we go. So, but yeah, so that would be my number one. Would be the home run derby after the 10th inning. I think that would be awesome. I think it'd be great. One that we've talked about some, and it's going to be interesting on you, is shorten the season.
Okay.
And now here's the question, because you are more of a traditionalist, obviously.
Yep.
And you have not bitched about shortening the season.
No.
But
because they've extended it over the years.
Right. The question is to how much.
Right. Yeah.
I would like, I don't know how we do it with games. I'd have to like kind of do the math. I would like it about to a basketball season. 82 games.
I'm not that far.
See, I am, because in baseball there's too many goddamn games. You want to up attendance at a baseball game? Shorten the goddamn season. You like, it's not that, like, if you want to go to a baseball game, you're like, well, fuck, we got 70 home games. Like, we can catch a game at all time. It's a lot, like, it's more of a thing when you're like, we've only got like 40 of these.
Yeah.
And granted, probably, like 20 or 25 of them are probably going to be against the Yanks or the Red Sox or the Dodgers, or like those tickets are going to be hard as hell to come by. So, let's get against Miami or Baltimore or Detroit, like a smaller team. And yeah, let's catch a game against them, just to see them. I think I think it would up the attendance at games a lot. I think it would make some of these games a lot more interesting. Just because, like, we're baseball fans, but like, and I'm a Yanks. If the Yanks play the Indians, obviously I watch this because I like to give you shit when we beat you. But like
recently,
but
well, actually in the past as well. But anyway,
yeah, overall time. But like, if the Yanks are playing Boston, I watch. Or when they play the Dodgers, or I'll watch those. Or if like I'm just sitting there bored with nothing on, I'm cooking. Yeah, I'll put on baseball, and but I won't watch it. But if there's like in basketball. Like when the Thunder when the Thunder had Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, when they win against Golden State, like, I didn't give a shit. Like that's a big game. And at the end of it, and we talked about it with the basketball season, in the Western Conference, there was only like a 3-game difference from the 2nd seed to the 9th, or from the 8th seed. So every game mattered.
Yeah, I understand.
Like in baseball, like you drop a 3-game series to the Indians, it's kind of whatever. We got 170 of these things left.
Yeah.
So it's not as big. I think it would. Now, playoff baseball's great. I think just with the season, there's just too many of them. And I think if you shorten it, first off, I think it would. The players would like it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games. And plus,
I'm not opposed to shortening a season. I'm not opposed to doing it as far as you're bringing it, but I think you'd be surprised, because that was going to be one of my changes, and when we're done talking, so that was going to be one of mine that I was going to spitball, was shorten the season. And originally my idea was to go from, right now it's 162 games, which is just way too much.
That's way too many.
Way too much.
I think the max I'd go with 100 is the max I'd go.
So that's where I'm falling. Like, originally it was, all right, let's just remove 40 games, because back in the 1920s when Babe Ruth was playing, the 60s. Back in the 60s, I think that was when they first started extending the season, It was around the 1960s because the thought was that Mickey Mantle wasn't going to, or not Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris wasn't going to be able to beat Babe Ruth's single season home run record outside of 120 games because they played 120 some games. Right.
Yeah.
So the idea of cutting games, I'm not against, but I think getting down to about 100, and then here's what you do. You bring in more doubleheaders. You make games Thursday through Sunday. You don't have any games Monday through Wednesday.
See, I want to be against that. The one thing I do think, and this would be kind of interesting too for you, like if you bring it down to 82, right? But
Yeah.
the same amount of time of the season, so there's more breaks, more. So money wise,
Yeah.
you probably only need three pitchers, 3 starters. Instead of a 5-man rotation, if you took it only to 82 games, which is half the games,
Well,
so
yeah, that gives you that option, but I don't think you would see guys get away from because the 5 pitch because that's it's 5 games in between, and then with a potential for more. So I don't know.
You say that until somebody who's doing move to a 3-man rotation that gets 3 studs. And then the other $20 million they were going to pay these other pitchers, like, hey, Mike Trout, we got an extra $20 million a year.
Yeah,
come on,
yeah,
come on. I think it would be a slow movement, but I think it would. I don't know about 3 man. Probably about a 4-man rotation. I think one pitcher would get axed. Probably about a 4-man rotation.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do that when you have a big chunk of time in between your next series.
I mean, you're talking about like a week. Like in a week, instead of playing like 3-4 games like they do now, you'd be only playing 2 games a week. Okay, that means you could almost pitch every week.
Yeah.
So I think shortening the season would make the season a lot more fun.
Yeah.
I think you'd get attendance would boost, and it would make a lot.
That's why I say have only games Thursday through Friday, because that gives people more opportunity to actually go to the games. You don't get a whole lot of people going to a game on a Wednesday or Tuesday afternoon.
Well, yeah, I mean, like opening day. I mean, it's great, but
There's a lot more day games.
It's
too.
like, oh yeah,
day games.
it's Tuesday and the first pitch is at 1 p.m. Like, bro, I'm at work.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
what do you want me to do? I gotta work, man. Like,
I've got an honorable mention as to what one of my changes would be. But we'll talk about that when I get there.
So my last change I'd make, and being a Yankees fan, it might be a little bit of a surprise, I'd make a salary cap.
Dang it, that was going to be one of mine too. I agree. Major League Baseball needs a salary cap. Bad.
I think that to make a salary cap. I mean, basically, don't get me wrong. I'm a Yanks fan, and I love whipping the shit out of everybody. And it's fun, but I mean.
Well, so you say that now, but the thing is, the difference. I hated the Yankees for so long, especially in the late '90s and the early 2000s.
Oh, we were
and
buying
even
up
the
everybody.
mid-2000s. When you were buying up everybody. The difference with this team, well, not necessarily this team, because you got Giancarlo Stanton, but in a terrible trade, by the way,
That's terrible,
by the Marlins. But that's besides the point.
The Yanks now are pretty much homegrown for the most part.
Right. That's why it's not so bad. Like Gary Sanchez, homegrown, was drafted by the Yankees.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge, the possible future face of baseball, was homegrown and drafted
Gleyber
by the
Torres,
Yankees.
Andahar, DJ LeMahieu wasn't. He was.
Yeah, but he
was a
came
Rockies.
in and this was his first last season.
It was his
he
outcoming. He was
outcoming. Yeah, it's not like he was like the number one prospect in all of baseball.
he came, when we signed him, we were all kind of like, okay, not a bad, but nothing. And then he blew it out of the water. But yeah,
he blew out of the water.
But I mean, it's over the and I'm gonna say it because it's not gonna hurt your feelings because but teams like Cleveland, the smaller markets like Cleveland, freaking, Kansas City, St. Louis has been Arizona. There's teams that, New York, L.A., Boston, like the monsters, that they have the money and they
for them
they run the Oakland, for the love of God, for being like the I'm talking about small, and I think
Minnesota.
It makes it so much more fun when it's an even playing field on who you could have. Like, for instance, like we talked, like San Francisco 49ers this year, like they were projected like 5 or 6 wins.
Oh yeah,
but they made some good signs. Some other teams had to make some big cuts, and then they ended up making the freaking Super Bowl.
And we're winning for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, like you don't see the Oakland Athletics in this World Series. Why? Because they just don't have the money. They don't have the firepower, the horses. Like, it just doesn't happen. Cleveland is always a formidable opponent, but you haven't won a World Series in about 100 goddamn years. Why?
They were like 60 at this point.
Yeah,
68 or something.
Okay, it was a little sarcasm, but I mean, you guys are always a good ball. You're a good ball club, and you've had some very good teams.
The 90s in particular.
Yeah, the 90s, like with Justice and
Dave Justice, Manny Ramirez,
you guys
Omar Vizquel, Jim Thome, Carlos Baerga. We had Roberto Alomar at second base, who's a Hall of Famer. Kenny Lofton.
And what happened?
Just lost 2 World Series.
You lost. You lost.
Lost to the Braves and the Marlins.
Well, and the Braves in the 90s were stupid.
Yeah.
But I mean, most of the time, and it's always funny. I mean, I know you're a homer with Cleveland, but
I am.
But most of the time when we talk about, who's going to be good, I know you bring up Cleveland, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, yeah, you guys are going to be good.
I don't.
But
so
you don't have the horses.
My thought on Cleveland this year is I don't think they're going to be great. I think they could be over 500, but third, second at best in the Central.
So I think,
and I fully think Lindor's going to get traded this year.
Well, I was about to say I'll see him in pinstripes, but I don't think he's going to be in pinstripes. The Yanks are too good at the infield right now. They have.
If he goes anywhere, it's going to be Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean we've got.
I think Los Angeles, not Chicago, because they got Javi Baez.
He's one of my favorites. I love Javi.
I could see him in St. Louis.
Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go to, a bigger team that. Like maybe he might go to the Nats. The Nats just lost Garrett Cole, lost a lot of people. They got they lost.
The Nats didn't lose Garrett Cole. That was Houston.
Or Houston. Sorry, but Anthony Rendon. They lost Rendon. They still got Soto.
So what if Lindor, and this is 100% a squirrel, if Lindor is traded by Cleveland this year, which I fully expect to happen, he's going to get traded to a team that has a strong group of prospects in their farm system, because that's what Cleveland does. Their ability to find diamonds in the rough when it comes down to AAA, or like the farm system of teams, has been very good for a very long time.
It's true. All right, Jim.
And
we'll give you Clint Frazier for him.
For those of you who don't know, Clint Frazier was drafted by the Indians in like 2012, and he got traded to New York for Andrew Miller. So I can't really complain about that.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't bad.
Damn near won a World Series.
Yeah.
Like you said, damn near.
Damn near.
Just was not there.
But I mean, there's
people don't. Yeah, we've talked about that before. That Cleveland Chicago series. Everybody was like, we want the Cubs to win because they're the underdogs, and everybody wants them to win because they haven't won a World Series. It's like, dude, their payroll is astronomical. They're over $200 million. It's like they're basically the Yankees.
First off, let's get real for a second. The Yankees are not. I mean, correction. We'll always be the evil empire. We will.
Oh yeah,
Regardless,
that's just a fact.
Our payroll could go down to $1 million. We'll still be the evil empire.
It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to use an example. It's kind of like when Kurt Angle started getting the "You Suck" chants during his song. He hated it at first, but now you guys are like, now Kurt Angle loves it. He considers it,
Yeah,
a part of it.
Now,
that's basically what the Yankees are now. It's like, yeah, Yankees suck. It's like, yeah, we know you hate us.
You hate us, and like, well, because it took us for a while, but now we realize, like, hey, why do you hate us? Because we win all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Dodgers are worse than fucking New York now.
Yeah, I think their salary's even higher.
Yeah, like if you want to talk about buying or getting players and trading players, I mean, they just got fucking Mookie Betts, for the love of God, and David. Mm-hmm. They're literally taking the old Red Sox.
Yeah, and actually, they probably should have won the World Series in 2017 because there's a very good chance that Houston was cheating.
Well, yeah, but this is my fun thing because I heard Ryan say that. And I heard other Dodgers players say that. If question, and this cheating thing, if that's true, the Yankees took him to 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that you would not have been playing the Houston Astros in the World Series. You would have been playing Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
In the World Series. And I'm not saying that the Yankees would have won.
Right.
But it's like, oh, well, we took Houston to 7 games in the World Series. The Yankees took them to 7 games in the ALCS. Like,
well, yeah, here's that argument, I get it. I understand it. And it would have been an amazing World Series to see New York, Los Angeles World
LA.
Series.
That would have been so good. Good.
And Los Angeles, even though Houston was cheating, and it's a fact, they were cheating in that postseason, LA took them to 7 games.
Yeah.
And New York took them to 7 games. Like they're I don't even know why I'm bringing it up. It would have been an amazing World Series. It would have been 7 games. I'd probably take the Dodgers that year just because.
What year? 2018.
The Yankees, 17. When did the Houston, the Astros won in 17, right? Yes, yeah, because they beat the Astros beat the Yankees. The Yankees had beaten Cleveland. And the Astros were against the Dodgers. And then it was 18 was the Red Sox who played the Dodgers, who were also possibly cheating.
Well, yeah. True. Yeah, I mean, like, again, and I'm not saying that the Yankees would have won. I'm not saying
but
that.
it would have been more exciting.
Yeah, well, for people to say, oh, well, we got cheated out of a World Series, we should own that World Series. Like, no, technically you should pay the Yankees. And then who knows what would happen. Because it's 2 very good baseball teams.
Yeah. I still want to say I still take the Dodgers in that one just because the Yankees were a bit ahead of schedule.
Man, I don't know. Like, looking at their lineup.
You do the same thing for Los Angeles' lineup.
Wow.
You're talking about Turner. You're talking about Cody Bellinger. You're talking about Jacques Peterson. You still got Clay Kershaw, who's top form when he's not being monitored. You still got Yu Darvish, who like just completely imploded against Houston.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, like, back these days. I mean, you have Gary Sanchez. You have Judge.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have.
You don't have Stanton.
You don't have Stanton, but you have Starlin Castro. You have Didi Gregorius. You have Todd Frazier. You have Chase Headley, Jacoby Ellsbury, Matt Holliday.
Oh yeah, he's Jacoby Ellsbury. Shut up, and Jacoby Ellsbury.
And that year. Well, again, talking this year. Okay, yeah. I get it.
I'm not talking about this year.
Well, no,
that's only 2 years ago.
Well, he batted .270.
Whoa.
I mean, for a number 7 hitter to bat .270, not bad.
And it's better in Cleveland, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I was like, granted, like, when you talk about a guy who's batting 7th or 8th in the lineup, when you're just like, talking about, like, oh, yeah, if we could just get out of the heart of the order and get down to the bottom, okay, well, welcome. Now you have, like, a .270, .280 hitter. Yeah, he's not fantastic, but he's going to get on base.
Maybe.
No, it's well, hold on a second.
It's an opinion thing. It doesn't really matter because it didn't happen.
Well, it
right?
did. Well, again, like what I was
It
saying,
would have been amazing.
like what I was saying, like when Dodgers fans say, "Oh yeah, we should have won," it would have been interesting. Well, actually, looking at
On a surface level, that's true. On a surface level, you can't argue it. It's true.
well, I mean, looking at the 2017 Dodgers in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Great, I'm looking at the playoffs. Yeah, I don't know, Jim. Their top hitter was Cody Bellinger, who batted .219 in the playoffs. You have Turner. They did have Puig back then, who was playing better. I mean, he was batting .290. Jock Peterson only got 23. He only played 11 games in the playoffs. He sat out 4 games. Yeah, they didn't have a lot of people that we have now.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm saying at a surface level, the Dodgers got cheated out of a World Series. At a surface level.
See, I won't say that.
Because it on that top level, you've got Houston against Los Angeles.
Well, but okay, the same thing. But like, if you go below it, did the Yankees get cheated out of the World Series?
So you're agreeing with me then?
Well, no. Did the Yankees get cheated out of the World Series?
Yeah, sure.
Then how can you say...
Not at a surface level. At a surface level, that top level, where the last 2 teams is Los Angeles and Houston. The Yankees are not in there. At a surface level, the Dodgers got cheated out of a World Series. Now, that doesn't mean that the Yankees didn't as well.
Well, see, then that's bullshit. So, because if you just go to the top level... If they only would have cheated at the World Series, I would have said, hell yeah, you're right, Jim. But... No,
I am right. They did cheat in the World Series.
Well, I know, but did they cheat the year before? Oh, the series before that?
I think bottom line, what we're saying is, fuck the Houston Astros.
Well, right, but
pardon my language because I normally don't like to say it, but screw those guys. They cheated.
And that's why I won't say they got cheated out of World Series because honestly,
but they did at a surface level.
No, they didn't, Jim.
Because Los Angeles made it to the World Series against anybody who cheated.
Because Los Angeles,
so they earned.
Yeah, they
earned their way to the World Series, right?
The Yankees should have earned it, but they got cheated.
Right, I understand that.
So the Yankees should have been
at
there.
A surface level, right? So did the Dodgers.
Right. So
why are you saying that the Dodgers didn't get cheated out of a World Series when they 100% got cheated out of a World Series?
Because saying that they should have won that series on a series that should never have been there, they shouldn't have been there. They should have played the Yankees. So it's all a wash. It is all a wash. I'm not saying the Yankees should have won. I'm not saying the Dodgers should have won. I'm saying that year should be a fucking wash.
I don't disagree. But at the same time, you can't say that the Dodgers at a surface level didn't get cheated out of a World Series.
That's just a stupid thing to say.
It's not a stupid thing to say because Houston cheated. It's been proven.
Okay, so you're just...
Houston and New York both got cheated out of a World Series.
Okay, that's better. Well, and I don't even know who Houston played in the first round before that, or did they play?
So did they.
Yeah, whoever they played. Everybody got cheated out of a World Series.
I don't disagree with you. Yeah, I'm just saying at a top level, I'm working my way down. So I thought World Series is the surface level. The next level down is I think the Dodgers. I can't remember who the Dodgers played. Probably the Nats. No, because the Nationals were bounced in the first round.
2017.
Yeah, and the Astros and the Yankees. The Yankees at a second level got cheated out of the World Series, and then whoever Houston played in there, they got cheated out of a World Series too.
A lot of people got, but my point is when the Dodgers people say that they and not all of them do say, but and the players don't, but when fans say we deserve that World Series trophy,
so that's a different statement.
I'm no.
I'm not on the I'm not on board with saying that.
Okay, that's what I thought you were saying.
No. I'm not on board with that.
To me, when you say cheated out of a World Series, that means that they deserve the trophy. I'm like, no, they don't.
No.
They don't deserve the trophy.
There should be an asterisk. The Houston Asterisks.
Right. So okay. Now we're more on the same page. That's what I thought you were saying. I thought you were saying that they deserve the trophy. I'm like, no.
I was talking.
They don't
I was
deserve
talking
that
about
trophy.
on this. Yeah, yeah. It was a semantics thing. It was just based off of. I don't say the World Series trophy should be in Los Angeles right now for 2017. No, I don't think so.
It should be nowhere.
It should be nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we got cheated.
It definitely shouldn't be at Houston.
We got cheated.
That's for sure.
We got cheated out of New York versus LA, which would have been fun. It would have been fun. The two biggest cities in the country going toe to toe, and you know, we got cheated out of it. But anyways, we got all this kind of going
that
way
was
back.
quite a squirrel.
Right. I think going to a salary cap, I think give teams, I kind of thought about this, maybe a 5-6 year heads up. Like, hey, in 5-6 years, this is coming. That way, some of these monster contracts, not all of them, but some of these monster contracts,
Don't happen.
well, some of these monster contracts they've already signed, they can let those expire, so it's not going to hit them like the Manny Machado, and the Bryce Harper. Yeah, these they can let those expire and be like, yeah, we can't do that. And then they also have enough time to not like sign some of these guys and be like, hey, Judge, who arguably the next face of baseball, be like, yeah, we know you're being fantastic, but guess what? We have this cap coming.
Yeah,
so
we're not going to be able to pay you. Big
yeah,
A.
we can only pay you this much.
If that were to happen, Stanton would be gone before Judges.
Oh, 100%. Well, even without a salary cap, I think Stanton's gone before Judge. Judge is going to be a Yankee forever, I think.
Yeah.
But I think making a salary cap, getting teams like Cleveland, Baltimore, Colorado, the Padres, Cincinnati, some of these teams that just aren't historically.
Bring some parity to the league.
Yeah, I mean it's fun when like a team that you're like the first year Tom Brady and the Patriots won when freaking Bledsoe got hurt, like nobody expected shit for him. Even before Bledsoe got hurt, nobody really expected shit from the Patriots. I mean, they were a good team, but they weren't like, oh yeah, they're gonna win Super Bowl.
I want to say they were 5 years removed from losing the Super Bowl to the Packers.
Yeah, Packers. But yeah, it was just like, okay, well, and then
Bill Belichick was the terrible coach in Cleveland.
Right. I mean,
and he quit the Jets.
It's a lot of fun when everybody's got a chance.
I agree.
In baseball, I'm not gonna say nobody has a chance. But
it's a lot harder for the smaller teams, the small market teams, to have a chance.
I mean,
when you got your coastal teams are
yeah,
behemoths.
The Yankees and the Dodgers, they always got a chance. So the Cubbies, Chicago's a big baseball team. They're pretty good. Oh, by the way, side note, you want to know how much I'm still mad at fucking Houston?
Yes, I do. Please, let's continue to pile on those bastards.
This one has nothing to do with Houston. Well, it does, but not actually hurts them. On MLB The Show, do you know how many fucking Houston Astro players I have?
Zero.
When I play the Showdown and they give me a 4-team draft and Jose Altuve or Correa comes up, do you know how many Houston players I've ever drafted?
Zero.
Listen.
Hey, shut up. Listen, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, like anytime I see an Astro, I'm like, fuck you. Even if it's your baseball aura.
You know what's really sad about that? Like, Jose Altuve, prior to all of this, was legitimately a great hitter.
Well, and he was a fan favorite. He was a little guy that everybody loved.
Yeah. He was legitimately a great hitter, and now... Like, well, you can say, well, how far back was he cheating? Because you know how far back he was cheating. It was 2017. That was it. But before that, he was still over 300. He was a batting champ before that.
Well, and some of the ones that I feel bad for, because, granted, they might not have said anything, but, the Astros, and you say that the asterisks, and people fucking dogging on them. And deservedly. But I do kind of feel bad for the pitchers.
Yeah, we had talked about that before. The guys, the 7 guys who got demoted.
No,
because they got rocked by
I'm not talking
Houston.
about that. The Houston
Oh, you
pitchers.
mean the Houston pitchers? Yeah.
Yeah, like Verlander, he pitched his ass off.
I don't like Verlander.
Well, I mean, but I'm just saying, like, he pitched his ass off. He did no cheating. He didn't hit the ball.
Well, so there is a little bit of contention about that because when he left Detroit and then went to Houston, his rotations per minute spiked.
Okay, well, how the hell do
that doesn't mean he's cheating. It's you kind of look at it sideways.
But okay, well,
I'm not saying he's cheating, but the thing is, he complained and talked so much crap about people cheating, and just threw a bunch of people under the bus on
first
Twitter.
Off, what is he gonna do to up his rotations? Pine tar?
Possible, but yeah, pine tar's away. Something I don't know.
But I mean, pine tar's the usual.
Usually, yeah. Some type of stick 'em on his fingers.
Pine tar is, with how many cameras there are nowadays, pine tar's, I'm not gonna say impossible,
but it's damn near impossible.
It's damn near impossible to get away. Like Luis Severino got popped because
dear God, dude,
like,
his was so bad.
They're like, what is
like
that?
It's right there on his neck.
Even I was sitting there watching, and I was like, what is that? God damn it, what is that?
Yeah.
So, pitchers and what pitchers can do to cheat, minus steroids, obviously, but actually like adding something. With how many cameras there are nowadays?
Yeah.
I mean, it's damn near impossible. I mean, back in the day when there's one camera, yeah, sure, you could have it kind of hidden where there's only one camera. And,
Okay. The spitball area.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, it's like, whatever. His rotation spike, all right, whatever. Like, I don't think that.
I don't want to. If you had chose a different pitcher,
well,
I like it's just Verlander. I don't like Verlander.
I don't mind Verlander. I have nothing against that guy.
I don't like him.
I mean, I think he's a fantastic pitcher.
Oh, he's a very good pitcher. There's no doubt about that. A Hall of Famer, that's for sure. Like his no hitters in Detroit were real. I'll give him that. That's real.
Yeah.
But I don't. This is the whole thing. I go back to like Baker. I don't like him. I don't think I like him personally. But
well,
but then again, I don't know him personally, so it's not a fair thing to say.
You know, I would like to ask you that question if Baker didn't spike a flag.
I don't dislike Baker.
Oh,
I don't like that he did that.
Oh, I thought you said I don't like Baker, just like Verlander.
No. I'm saying that's why a lot of people dog on him because they don't think they would like him personally.
Oh.
I'm not saying I don't think I would dislike Baker personally. He seems like a affable dude who's got a good sense of humor about himself.
I would love to have a beer with Baker Mayfield. I think having a beer
100%.
with him would be fucking great.
Would I give him shit for planting a flag in Ohio? 100%.
Oh,
but I'm pretty sure he would take it.
I'm sure he'd take it and fucking
It's fine.
throw something back.
Yeah, exactly. He would say, "Yeah, we beat you at your house." I'm like, "Well, they beat you at your house too." Yeah, whatever.
Touché. All right, yeah. I think you take it. Then, by the way, and I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of like it. I kind of don't. About how the thing against Baker went with who was it? Bosa sacked.
Oh yeah.
And then fake.
It was Bosa. I think Bosa got Kyler.
No, Bosa got Baker. He did. Bosa got Baker and spiked the flag. Pretended to play the flag. And then the Baltimore Ravens played the Niners. Mark Andrews scored a touchdown, who was
and then
Baker's go-to boy.
Yeah.
And then Mark Andrews spiked the flag.
I'm not against that. I thought it was awesome.
I mean,
like that's great.
I mean, I think it's fun. I was kind of like, all right, I'm not mad about it, but I'm kind of like, at the same time, I'm like, boys, you're now getting paid $20 million to play a game. Get over it.
I kind of like it's one thing. So with that, I'm okay with. For them to go back to their college roots and to remember where they came from and to do something light. And that is light, right? Now,
Oh, yeah,
if
it
they
is.
were legitimately fighting, like throwing punches about shit like that, it's like, guys, what are we doing here? But celebrations, I'm fine with. It's like when who was it? It was Roy Williams, the wide receiver out of Texas, who was in Detroit.
Yeah.
Whenever he would score a touchdown, he'd stop. Even in Detroit, he'd stop and he'd throw up the horns, which you love, right? But
I'm not speaking on this.
you see it all the time. You see where guys will, still rep their college team. And I like it. It's
Okay,
fun.
so here's my question though.
All right.
So, what if, and there was, and I looked just to kind of, because I was curious.
Okay.
I think this is going to be a stretch here a little bit because OU hasn't had some good defensive players get drafted in the last 5 years.
That's been a long time.
Yeah, we have one this year, first rounder, by the way.
Yes, yeah, I agree, and he's very good.
Oh yeah, he's so. But say, like, what if Kenneth Murray was on that team? Like, he was a year younger and was on that team, right? On San Francisco,
Okay.
and played with Baker, and then you see your teammate disrespect your old college quarterback, who's your boy that you played with 4 years. You've only played with this guy for a year.
Yeah.
How would you expect Kenneth Murray to react?
It obviously depends on the individual.
It does.
Always got to take that into account.
Right.
But if he's going to take that seriously, then that's on him, right? But I understand where you're coming from.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's kind of the thing of like
I
if-
don't think it's that big of a deal.
Well,
Those guys are making a buttload of money.
I don't either, but it's kind of like, well, I don't think Kenneth Murray would have, or if I'm just saying Kenneth Murray or any college
Right.
player, like they wouldn't have done anything on the field against their teammate to say, hey
No.
man, that's cool. But like in the locker room, would they be like, yo man, like
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Because you see it happens all the time. You saw
Right.
it with Tom Brady and Nate Ebner every year.
right? And
Tom Brady wore multiple Ohio State jerseys.
right? And like yeah, and I'm not like saying it's right or wrong. I'm just kind of curious, like
Right.
If there was an OU player, or what if like here's one even more, Jim. If there was an offensive lineman whose job was to protect Baker, and that happened, like, oh, dude, that was my job, like to protect this man.
Well, like that's every day.
Right. So I mean,
You see sack celebrations all the time. It's a part of the game.
yeah, it is. I mean, I just think like, and I mean, I think it would be kind of vice versa, like with Mark Andrews. And I have to look like if there was an Ohio State player, that's on Baltimore, and I'd have to look. I don't know when he spiked the flag, and then he saw Mark Andrews do the mock flag spike. Like, if you're an Ohio State guy, like, granted you're getting paid millions, but that might make you do a little head tilt. Like,
Well,
I remember that. I remember that.
Like, so this is where my thought process comes into it. If you are on the same team with somebody who does something like that, and you feel like you need to go and get in somebody's face about it, then that's a you problem.
Oh no, I would agree.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
I talk about it. The idea of oh shit, what was I gonna say? I lost it.
By the way,
I had
Baltimore has no Ohio State players, FYI.
Yeah, there's probably several other teams that don't have Ohio State players on them too.
Well, I don't know if I said. Well, I doubt that. Ohio State has put a shit ton of people into the NFL, so I was like, I highly doubt that.
I don't think there's one in Miami. There is one in Carolina, I think, unless Norwell got.
But it was
signed somewhere
I
else.
was just kind of looking because I was like, well, I was like, I wonder if there's a young Ohio State player on Baltimore when Mark Andrews did it.
I don't think this is. I think it's a situation that we might be overthinking a little bit. At that point, I think it's all just fun and games. It's just, a little ribbing here and there. It's whatever.
Well, and I think it's a little ribbing here and there. By the way, I think I did love Baker's response. I think Baker's response was fantastic. But
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, when guys do the whole, like, OU versus Texas players and, whoever wins, you got to wear this jersey or, same with, like, Ohio State, Michigan players do it. And,
yeah.
Like, whoever loses, you got to put this jersey on. Shit, I did it with Beltran with, like, OU and Texas. It's a lot of fun. Just,
yeah.
I think the flag spike was something that... I'm not gonna say we hadn't seen it, but that was like
I've gotten past, like, definitely when it happened I was pretty upset about it, but I wasn't like foaming at the mouth upset about it. As time has gone by, and we've talked about it more and more, because it's disrespectful. I'm gonna do this again. At a surface level, it's disrespectful, but that's based off of what they had been doing forever, right? The idea is to say, this is ours, so we're gonna plant a flag, right? Well, it's in the same way when Iowa State beat OU again that year, and then they planted their flag,
right?
In Norman. It's disrespectful, but at what level of disrespect?
Yeah, the flag spikes at OU, it started, and the one that makes more sense. This makes a ton more sense. It started at OU, Texas, which is Dallas. It's not Norman. It's not Austin. It's literally right smack in the middle. And whoever wins, they got to claim the Cotton Bowl. That makes sense. Like, this is fucking ours. Yep. Like, no college team plays there. It's just the Cotton Bowl. And it's, granted, they do have a bowl game, but it is most known for OU, Texas.
Right. Yeah.
So, we claim the field. Whoever wins it claims the field. I get that.
Yeah. I get it.
And I remember, I was over at my buddy Mike Tinsley's house with a bunch of us, and we were watching the game, and we saw Baker running with the flag. And we saw him run towards the middle. And I remember me and Mike Tinsley both sat there, and we said, we were watching the TVs, both saying out loud, don't do it. Don't do it.
When he started running with the flag, I turned it off, so I actually didn't see him.
I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. And the funny thing is, he did it, and me and Mike Tinsley, because we both, we're bigger football fans. Not saying that, I mean, pretty much every OU fan is a fucking fanatic, just like Ohio State fans. But a bunch of guys were drunk, and they were going nuts, and me and Mike, both just ooh. We fist to face, and we were like, oh God,
yeah.
I'm like, don't get me wrong, man. I'm like, it's fun, but.
You were like, yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that one, man.
Yeah, because and we've talked about it. We've I can't remember if we talked about it on the show, but I know that we've talked about it in our many talks that we've had throughout the years. You said ultimately you came around. You're like, I love it. You're like, I loved it, but in the back of your head, you're like, I get why people are so upset about it.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, I get why people are upset about it too, and my thought was, it was unneeded, it was unwarranted, because he took the idea of Ohio State singing the alma mater in Oklahoma as disrespect. But the truth of the matter is, Ohio State does that after every single game, win or lose. They do it every single game.
Well, yeah, it was. I think it was kind of a.
It was an escalation on Baker's part that I felt might have been overblown, but that's Baker, and I get it.
Well,
I understand.
And so,
he was hyped for beating Ohio State, who was a top end team that year.
Granted, it was not just you guys. You guys just you didn't just sing your alma mater in a corner when you were at OU.
Was it the chants as well?
You literally stormed the entire the team went around the field.
Oh, did they? I
Yeah,
didn't see that.
yeah, they went everywhere.
I was deployed.
Yeah.
I was deployed at that time.
So, I mean, granted, you did sing your alma mater, but it wasn't like they just went to one secluded corner. And
I should say, Baker. That was the one thing he talked about.
well, yeah. So, like, when you guys sang your alma mater at OU, it's not like I said. It's not like they went to a secluded corner and they sang it and then walked off the field. They literally sang the alma mater, pretty much stormed the field, got done singing it, took an Ohio State flag, or ran around the field with Ohio State. They didn't plan it, but they ran around the field.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just singing the alma mater. Granted, I'm not saying Baker didn't throw it out of proportion, but it wasn't as light as you said. It's not like they went to a corner, sang their alma mater like they usually do, and then walk off the field and leave.
Right.
No, there was
Right.
flag
So-
runnings and all sorts of stuff.
So is that perceived? That's obviously perceived as disrespect by Baker. You know what I'm saying? Like, is celebrating a win considered disrespect? I consider it to be normal.
Well,
But
so
I understand.
celebrating a win is one thing, and disrespect is a whole different level.
Right.
I think when you take a flag and sprint it up and down your opponent's field, whether you spike
Yeah.
it or not,
Yeah.
that's pretty much saying, yeah,
Well,
this is ours.
So here's the question. It still is, by the way. But here's the question. Here's the question. And we've never talked about this. The idea of disrespecting. So like players can disrespect each other. That's normal. That happens all the time. Now, disrespecting a team or coaches on a team. Now we're talking about like disrespect of not even an institution, or I want to use the term institution in the sense of like the Coliseum. Like, do you have respect for what has happened there? Do you have
100%.
respect what has happened in Columbus? Do you have respect what's happened in
yeah.
Norman?
Yeah,
Right. You have respect of that. If Ohio State is disrespecting that, then yeah, they probably deserve to have their flag planted in Columbus. But that isn't what the perception of the planting of the flag was for Baker and for OU
Right.
fans. That's
No.
not considered disrespect of the location. It's just we're like, we won this thing. You guys disrespected us there. We're going to disrespect you here like this.
Right. See, and I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, there's places like you said, the Coliseum, Death Valley, the Palace on the Prairie, the Horseshoe, the Big House. You know, these places are, to say they're iconic is an understatement. Like they are known for college football history. When I said I was okay with Baker planting the flag, would I prefer him not to do it? Yeah, sure. I would.
Sure.
Yeah, I would have preferred him not to do it. But looking in the grand scheme of things, he didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
He didn't disrespect anybody's mother or girlfriend.
No.
He didn't speak bad on Columbus. He didn't say you guys are white
He didn't
trash
No, he didn't go and put a OU, jersey on Woody or anything like that.
he didn't spray paint anything. He planted a flag that was
Right.
there for 5 seconds. Anyway, granted, would I wish you wouldn't have done it? Sure, I wish you wouldn't have done it.
But
in the long scheme of things, was it that bad? No. There's worse things.
That's why That's
worse
why
things that
as
have
time that's why as time goes on I've softened to the idea. Like does it suck? Yeah, it definitely sucks, but
Yeah.
just because I'm more upset about the loss than I am about Baker planting the
Well,
flag.
yeah, sure.
But
I mean,
but that's talk about 4 years. Well, it's 3 years ago now.
yeah, I mean it's really not that bad. So we're hitting a minute. 45.
We got so far off course.
Right.
So that you did your 3 MLB changes if you were going to be commissioner tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did we hit all 3 of yours?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Hold on.
So
You tell yours. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you 5 seconds.
Okay, so two of them we agreed on. I'd shorten the season, probably down to about 100 games, and then put the games on the weekends. I agreed with you on the home run rule that Justin Turner, I believe he parroted. I don't think it was necessarily his idea, but it's him and one other person. So I'll say Justin Turner because he's more well known. My one that was not brought up. Oh, and I did agree with you on the salary cap, but those were not my three. My other third was to introduce the DH in both leagues because it doesn't make any sense why you have a DH in one league. You know what? I should say it like this. It's either put DH in both leagues or just get rid of it altogether. So, but I don't have any reasoning as to why I would go one way or the other. The only thing I can think of is because, Big Papi is he's a Hall of Famer. He's going into the Hall of Fame and probably, no, he'll be the second. So I said either get rid of or add the DH altogether.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I would. So I think it depends.
Yeah.
On if you shorten the game, if you shorten the season.
Yeah.
Add the DH completely to everybody. That allows you for roster space for some guys that still, need a spot. If you're not going to shorten it, fuck it, take it out. Make the pitchers hit.
Yeah. It's one or the other. You can't have a DH in one league and a DH not in the other.
I agree.
Right.
I 100% agree.
And so that was my one that was not brought up. I do have a couple. Let's see. I just had one. One of them that is an honorable mention is to immediately gather everybody around and start a gigantic campaign to make opening day a national holiday.
No.
Oh, too bad. This mine. I can say whatever I want.
Listen, if college football opening day is not a holiday, then baseball should.
College football opening day is a Saturday, sir.
Then you should have Friday off to get wasted and ready for it.
Listen, if you don't have plans on day drinking for a Saturday football game, that's on you.
But if you kick off at 8 a.m., you better have that night ahead of you.
So, and then I had one more, but it's gone now. So yeah.
I was trying to think.
It's back to me now. Yeah, home run derby. Home run derby. You can only have one player from a certain position, and you keep the current rules. But you play. Oh no, maybe not. Because I've been wanting pitchers to be in the home run derby for a while now.
Yeah.
Like there was a big push to have Madison Bumgarner in the home run derby because he had hit like 10 home runs that year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if a pitcher wants to be in the home run derby, they should be allowed to be in the home run derby.
Listen, if you want to go super long and do college, I'm ready to go college right now. I'm ready to go. By the way, listeners,
you know what? Let's split this in two. Let's make this be the end of part 1, and then we'll go into part 2. That way I can edit it. I can do both. I can upload both.
Okay.
Okay. So, hey, you know what? Hey, let's take a break to hear a word from our sponsor. Or this is the end, and we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, this is the end.